Hello everyone, it's Rory Pratt from Pratt's Podge and Micro Soldering Repairs, and today I am here with an iPad. So this is, sorry, get you in a good place, an iPad 5. As you can see, there's a lot of dust between the screens there. Hopefully you can see that. There's dust. Can't really see it very well. But yeah, lots of dust in between the screens. We have a lift right here on the edge. And to be honest, the home button's a bit loose. Apparently they're having touch issues, so we imagine that the digitizer has been replaced badly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come straight in here, no heat, that is still cool, I've not put it on my heat plate. I'm literally just going to put my tool in here in this corner, just give it a twist. There you go, that is that all just falling off. Just falling off. Pretty much. Easiest iPad ever. Ooh. Right, so first problems here. What do we see? Firstly, we see Captain Tape around every edge on the digitizer. That is a sign that the screen used is of really poor quality, and it's a sign that the repairer knew that too, because they have put Captain Tape around the edge to stop touch issues, which means they know that their screens are crap. They know that their screens are bad, that they're going to have touch issues, but they're still fitting them anyway. Brilliant, that's great for our customer, isn't it? Secondly, we bring this here, we have this. So that home button flex is going under the screen there, which is the total wrong place, which means you can't fully lay the screen down because that is going to snap. Not good. The home button bracket is attached, but the home button still feels loose. Not good. Dirt on the screen in that corner, very dirty. All that dust there on the LCD, very bad. No foam tape around the edge. That's just the original old foam tape around the edge. And obviously the adhesive they used is very thin stuff and obviously not very sticky. It won't even stick to my gloves. So all in all, a terrible, terrible repair. I will be asking them who did this and try and, if they let me know, I'll be happy to tell anyone that asks. So that is, like I say, just about one of the worst iPad 5 repairs I've seen so far. I can't say that they've done anything right, which, yeah, is pretty bad. So let's get screws out of the LCD here, and then I can lift the LCD and I can lay the glass down, because the home button cable will then be free and not squashed there. So there you go, now I can actually lay that down. Look at the state of that cable. Brilliant. This person, whoever repaired this, really does care about other people's devices. They must do. They must do. Sorry, 1 second. Just got to clamp another phone that's just been repaired and it's just been heated, so I can clamp the back glass. So let me just do that quickly. I don't want the phone to get too hot. There you go. Right, so where was I? So now I can lift the LCD. We've actually got all the screws here. I suppose that's quite good. They've actually taken the care to put the screws back in where they should be. We can't knock them for that. We can knock them for the absolutely appalling screen they fitted, but we can't knock them for this. So that's still the original screen, so happy days, at least they didn't damage that while they were in there. I can't say the same for the home button, because that cable is terrible. People will moan at me for not disconnecting the battery there, but personally I think if the device is off, it's not the end of the world. Let's focus on this. So this cable is mangled. Still okay, and the home button was still working, so we just need to, there we go. So what is that? This is just one thing after another with this, I think. Let's get this flex away from the bracket. There we are. Put that away. So that's not even part of the home button. That's that's gonna gooey and nasty. That is a spacer for the home button. It's not the right one. It's not the original. Like I said, there's Captain tape all around the edge, this yellow tape around the edge of the screen. That's basically because the previous repairer knows that their screen is of poor quality and it's going to cause touch issues. So by putting that Captain tape around the edge, basically, under that Captain tape is this copper backing of the digitizer, which is the touch screen. That touches the frame. If it's poor quality and it's not insulated, that touches the frame and causes all sorts of issues with the touchscreen. So this is a poor quality digitizer. I mean, yeah, it barely bends and it just snaps like that. So I know the screens we use are much better quality than that. Let me get one. This is one of our screens. Like I say, I can bend that, it's not going to break. I can guarantee I can bend this now like this. I can still fit that and it won't give me an issue. So that's going to go on the heat plate, just so I can take off the adhesive that's on there, because we don't use the pre-applied adhesive. We use proper stuff. So this old, poor quality screen, straight in the bin, no interest in that. And I'll start cleaning this frame off. See, what I do to cover the battery is use an old iPad mini shield. To make sure if I slip, I don't cut into the battery. So I get the worst of it off. Worst of it off like this, and then I go back with an alcohol swab to get any leftover adhesive off. Now the screen's warm enough for me to remove the old adhesive. And so this is an iPad Air screen. Obviously iPad Air and iPad 5 use the same screen. This has a pre-fitted original home button for an iPad Air. So I will also have to remove that now. It isn't a problem, it only takes a couple of minutes, and the time it saves when I'm doing an iPad Air is brilliant, and I can stand by these screens. Say, they're original home buttons. They have the sleep and wake function, everything, so yeah, really good quality. If you're looking for a good quality iPad screen, please feel free to drop us a message. We won't supply you if you're a DIYer, but if you're a repair shop looking for a decent quality iPad screen, please just give us a shout. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's difficult at the best of times to find good suppliers. There you go. So that's that. Seeming as the spacer for the original home button is missing, I'm going to leave that spacer there. Stick this button in, and then I'm going to go the other side and make sure we are lined up well, which we're not. Oh look, see, I'm being stupid. So the spacer is on the original home button still, so we can take the spacer off of this. So this is why it wasn't lined up well on the old screen, because there was two spacers there, so the home button was depressed all the time, constantly pressed in. That's perfect. That lines up perfectly now. So again, another bad job. Another thing wrong with this repair. This is a good one. I'm glad I videoed this. So now I'm just cleaning off home button bracket. cleaning off the old adhesive there. I'll put the new stuff on. So there's new adhesive on there. So what I do is I use our iPad screen adhesive like normal. So just get it all lined up. Just make sure it's all as it should be. There you go, that's lovely. So now flex needs to get under this film. The flex is very well out of shape from the last repair. At least if I put it here, stick it on, it might straighten it out a bit over time. And then what I need is a white screen. I'd usually use T7000, I think it's called for this, the black stuff, but because it's a white screen, sometimes the black stuff can leave a bit of a mark. Let's put a little bit of B7000 around the edge of the home button bracket. This stops any movement on it over time. So, I mean, you could come down 3 years and over 3 years, the adhesive can come a little bit loose, don't get me wrong. It's just adhesive, it could happen to anyone. So by putting that B7000 there, that is then glued on. Obviously it's removable, so if we have to ever do this repair on this device again, it will come off nicely and easily with a bit of heat. But it will stay there and it will keep that stuck down properly for the entirety of this device's life. So that is that screen ready now. I'll put that to one side while we finish preparing the iPad. So I'm going to clean this off now with an alcohol swab. So make sure the frame of this iPad is all properly cleaned up. A lot of the problem here is the cleaning. You won't get a good seal if it's not properly cleaned. I am hoping in the next couple of months to get a microscope camera so I can start doing some decent board repair videos for YouTube, which would be nice. We'll wait and see. I've just bought a whole load of new equipment. So I'm going to have to wait and see what I can afford. But that's this frame nice and clean now. Go. That's nice and clean, that's ready for some new adhesive. Stick the new adhesive on in a moment and I'll come back to the video very soon. Once I come back to the video I'll show you it all working, seal it back up and everything like that. So I'm just going to deal with something else and I will come back on video very soon. So I'm back with this iPad 5 now. As you can see here we have our adhesive around the edge, really sticky stuff. and we have our foam tape around the edge of the LCD. Now this LCD is not, I mean there's a little bit of dust there I need to clean off, but that's not perfect. There's a lot of dust marks on there. Unfortunately they are stained to the LCD where it's had a bad repair in the past. Nothing I can do about that other than do it right this time, make sure it doesn't get any worse. So there's the dust stains on there, which is obviously an issue, but I did explain to the customer initially that because it's had a bad job done in the past, there will be dust stain. I also found that mark in the corner is a bit of burn. So whoever did this last time put far too much heat on the screen to try and remove it, and obviously did a bad job that way. So there's a few underlying issues with this iPad now, which unfortunately it will cost a lot to put them right. I mean, a new LCD, if it's just for dust marks, then the customer doesn't see the point unless it's actually sort of not working. They just want it fixed. They've already had to pay for it to be repaired once, so obviously they're not happy about having to pay a second time. Obviously I charge more because I do the job properly, so they're not best pleased that obviously they had such a bad job done in the past, so they don't really want to spend the money on this. But they said if it goes wrong again they might consider it, if they break the screen, that is. Obviously it won't go wrong after I've repaired it. So just cleaning the screen the best I can. I've got a clean room coming next week, which will make my iPad cleaning a lot easier. So that's good. We've got our adhesive ready. Just got to peel film away from the digitizer, line it all up nicely. Just like that. That's all tucked in well, and then just go around and make sure I've got all of the dust off the screen. It's made harder by the dust marks on there because it looks like dust when it's not. That's perfect. So now all I have to do is seal this up, and away we go. Now I can't turn it on because it does have a picture of the customer there, so you can't see that, but that is all working perfect. Lovely. So that is this iPad all sorted, and that's me, Rory Pratt from Pratt's Pods and Micro Soldering Repairs, showing you how to put right a bodged iPad. So please be wary where you go to get these things repaired. You can see how badly they can be done sometimes. Make sure you're using a reputable repairer. It's not just me that does these things properly. There's plenty of places out there that will do a decent job repairing your tech. Just make sure you choose the right place. Thank you.